40-day journey, including multiple orbits of the Earth, a slingshot into the moon's gravitational pull, and multiple orbits of the moon itself. D-Day is finally here. India's ambitious moon mission, the Chandrayaan-3, is on schedule to make history by successfully soft landing on the lunar South Pole. Now, in only a few hours from now, at around 5:45 p.m., Chandrayaan-3's Vikram lander will begin the phased landing process. And if all goes well, the Vikram lander and Pragyan rover will land on the moon's surface at around 6:04 p.m., making India the first country to have successfully soft landed on the moon's South Pole. So it's clearly a very exciting day for all of us. In fact, my colleague Akriti is outside the ISRO space station as well in Bengaluru. Akriti, the expectations are extremely high. The excitement is palpable. But, take us through what we know so far.
The world is watching with bated breath to see if Chandrayaan-3 will succeed in making a soft landing on the south pole of the moon. This will be India's another attempt at successful moon landing, and interest is greater since Russia's attempt to land in the area a few days ago ended in failure. Scientists at ISRO say the landing maneuver will begin when the craft is just 30 kilometers away from the lunar surface, and the confidence in a successful landing are high with the mission being on schedule. Regular checks of the craft system have not yet thrown up any red flags. However, the final decision on the landing, whether it will take place today or on August 27, will be taken a few hours ahead of the landing. If all goes well, India is just hours away from creating history. Akriti Anand, CNBC-TV18.
All right, that's our colleague Akriti, exactly where everybody wants to be, where the excitement lies. So fingers crossed at this time. But with the crunch time fast approaching, it has also brought back memories of the failure of Chandrayaan-2, remember, which came close to landing but eventually crashed into the moon's surface in 2019. Now, it is these final stages of the flight that were really described by the former ISRO chairman as being 15 minutes of terror. So how are the scientists at ISRO planning to ace the landing this time around? Archana brings us all these details.
There's a lot of curiosity about how Chandrayaan-3 will do so, because it is during this phase when Chandrayaan-2 crashed the last time. And K. Sivan, then chairman of ISRO, had described this phase as 15 minutes of terror. Let's attempt to explain how the landing will happen in 4 phases. From Bengaluru, ISRO will give command to lander Vikram in phase 1. The Vikram lander, that would be orbiting the moon at an altitude of 30 kilometers, will be in a horizontal position and will attempt to come down. The velocity at this point will be 1.68 kilometers a second. Now, this process will take about 690 seconds. In stage 2, the lander, which would now be at 7.4 kilometer height from the moon's surface, will tilt from horizontal to vertical position. The speed of the lander will be reduced further, and this process will take about 10 seconds. Phase 3, which is called the final braking phase, the lander will fully move into the vertical position from the horizontal position, and it will now cover a distance of 28.52 kilometers to the landing site, and the speed will be 0. The craft is now just 800 to 100 meters away from the moon's surface. Now, this is the trickiest phase, as Chandrayaan-2 crashed in the same stage when it lost control. And stage 4, when the lander is almost near the landing site, it will then carry out some tests to understand whether there are some obstacles or not. That is when it will decide to land there itself or move to a different location where it is safer to land. Now, Chandrayaan-3 will target a similar landing site as its predecessor, and this region is of important interest because of the potential presence of water that was discovered by none other than Chandrayaan-1. So basically, these 15 minutes are very crucial. The lander has to fire its engines at the right time, at the right altitude, and use just the right amount of fuel and finally touch down. Not to mention, the lander Vikram has to do all of this on its own, because ISRO will not be able to guide much from Earth. Now, what next? After the successful landing, the images captured by the cameras on board, the spacecraft will be shared with Earth. However, ISRO has said that yes, if the conditions are not favorable, the touchdown will be pushed to 27th of August. Back to you.
All right, Archana, they're giving a full description. Thanks for putting that out for us. Very interesting there. But remember, we are so focused on the markets, and the whole host of stocks linked to Chandrayaan-3 mission are in focus and buzzing in trade today. Vivek Iyer is right here with all the details. Tell us, Vivek.
Well, absolutely. While all of the news flow rightly is focused on the mission itself, what we've done is we've compiled a list of companies, list of stocks, that are in some way tied up to this particular launch itself and have either supplied critical components or actually gone ahead and given the missile guidance systems. Whole list of stocks. We've compiled a list of 8 stocks, not comprehensive, but very interesting work done by a lot of these names for this entire mission. First on our list, L&T, manufactured proof pressure testing as well as critical booster segments. Also, the company went ahead and did the system integration for the launch vehicle for the entire Indian space program. Next on our list is BHEL. They provided the batteries to ISRO, for the construction of Chandrayaan-3. HAL, they actually manufactured Vikram lander, part of the spacecraft that will go ahead and land on the moon. Paris Defense, the other company that we are tracking, supplied the navigation system for the aircraft. MTAR Tech, largely this particular company supplied Vikas engines, cryogenic engine subsystems, and various modules for the launch vehicle mark. Midani, the steel company, went ahead and supplied various alloys and special steel for the lift launch vehicle. Walchand Nagar Industries, this particular company has been, been associated with the Indian space mission for a very long time. Critical booster segments S200 was supplied by this particular name. And lastly, Centum Electronics both helped in designing as well as manufacturing electrical systems for this particular launch. Whole host of these stocks in focus, and a lot of them are buzzing in today's session as well.
Oh, absolutely. Looks like they're waiting eagerly as well, just like us, for that big landing, right? Vivek, thanks a lot for getting us all of those details. It's very interesting to know. But with that, we do need to take a short break. When we come back, we're